Today we're going to be doing sweet corn. It's sweet corn season, and what's better than some sweet corn with some butter? Nothing better for the summertime. That's what we're going to be doing today. And if you've never done sous vide corn, you're in for a treat, because sous vide is the way to sort of marinate it in butter while you're cooking it, creating the most beautiful, butteriest corn ever. So let's get to it. So we've got our sweet corn in a bag, and all I'm gonna do is add, we're gonna keep things simple today, just butter and salt. So I like to use about a tablespoon of butter for every 2 ears of corn. So I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter here. I'll throw those into the bag. Try and spread them out a little bit. And then I've got about 2 tablespoons of salt as well. And we'll just throw that into the bag. Try and spread it out if you can amongst the ears of corn. So I like to go about a tablespoon per 2 ears of corn. That's where I came up with those numbers. Now, as you're doing sous vide vegetables, you want to make sure you're using Ziploc bags rather than vacuum sealed bags. Why is that? Because your vegetables are going to emit gas, and being able to burp them really helps. So since we're using Ziploc bags, we're going to be doing the water displacement method, obviously, to get rid of that air from the bag. So try and keep your contents in one layer. You don't want to double up on layering of that. Don't let them overlap, in other words. And I'm just going to close off the vast majority of that bag, leaving about 2 inches open. And then as I dunk it, you're going to have all the air be voided from that bag. The last 2 inches closed on me. So as you dunk it, you'll get all that air voided, and then as that last corner that I still have open gets underwater, I seal it, and now I've got a bag of corn with the butter and salt completely void of air. Now I'll just push it around to make sure it's in a single layer, and we'll get our bath going. Again, we're going to be doing 185 degrees for 35 minutes for this cook, and let's get started. So I've got our bath going to that 185. Particularly when you're cooking at these high temperatures, make sure you're using a cover or sous vide balls like I am. It'll cut down the time to get to that temp a lot, trust me. And then a couple other things. If you would like to do frozen sweet corn, that's totally possible. Just add 20 minutes to your cook. Like I said, we're gonna do 185 for 35, so do it 55 minutes in that instance. If you want to do sweet corn with the husk on, that's totally possible too. And it provides a nice earthier flavor to it. I would just advise taking off the first couple layer, or the first layer of that husk, because there can be a lot of insecticides on that. That way we avoid those. But those are 2 great options. Oh, the other tip for you, with sous vide vegetables, there are many things you can cook at that 185 temperature when it comes to sous vide vegetables. So though the time might be different, you can use that same bath for, say, carrots or broccolini or any number of things. So it's usually possible to do more than one vegetable in your sous vide cook, which is really efficient. So we just hit 185. I'm gonna drop the corn in. Now you just wanna make sure that the corn is fully submerged. I'm probably gonna weight it down here. Like I said, there tends to be gas, so give me a second to grab something. So I placed a plate on top of the corn. I put it in a way such that the water is still circulating around it fully. So we'll leave it in for 35 minutes. So you will notice here that we've got gas in the bag. So this is why we use Ziploc bags. It allows us to push that air out. Because the water's so hot, I'm not gonna worry about like doing the water displacement method again. The water's simply too hot to do that. So I'm just gonna push as much as I can out and then sort of reset to make sure it's okay. And I'll put the plate back. But that's why it's important to monitor, and also to use your Ziploc bag rather than a vacuum seal bag. So we've been 35 minutes, so we're ready to shut the cooker off and take the corn out and give it a try. Now remember, things like these plates, I was just touching the edge and not the center of the plate, but these will be hot because they were in 185 degree water. So just be careful as you take things out as it's very hot. But there you go. You have your corn. You got a little bit of that melted butter in there. I'm gonna empty it. See if I can get out each corn. Here we go. It's still very hot. Use some tongs. That would be the smart move. But you've got your corn. Looks delicious. I'm gonna try some. Still very hot, but very buttery. It was so good. Sweet corn done sous vide is a must try. Please do.